Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's very quick live stream. For those that were hanging out for the 11 o'clock start, my apologies, I was a couple of minutes late. I've just been a panelist on the Vic Sport Doing Sport Differently conference, which was really cool because it was a conference that they would have normally run physically with us all in a room and talking to a crowd, etc. But they had 200 and just under 200 people on. Panelists were online, questions were coming in, and I thought it worked really, really well. The topic we were talking about, and I was lucky enough to be on a panel with Patrick Walker, who's the CEO of the Australian Sports Foundation. We were talking about fundraising, and I'm really excited to hear that in the next 24, 48, 2 or 3 days, the Australian Sports Foundations are going to make some very significant announcements in ways that they can help clubs through this COVID-19 period. So as soon as we hear those announcements in the next couple of days, we'll bring them straight to you, and we will get Patrick or one of his great team to come and talk to us all about the Sports Foundation support that they're putting together for Australian sports clubs. But one of the things that came through in the session was, should we be even fundraising at this time, given that so many people have been financially challenged at the very least? And unquestionably, the answer is because we need to make it possible. Well, first of all, we need to start up our clubs. And the reality is, as clubs start to reopen and re-provide services, they're actually going to have a lot more costs than what they did when we shut. So there's going to be significant responsibility on cleanliness, on disinfectant, on all sorts of segregation. Maybe instead of sharing equipment, we need more of the same types of equipment, so we're not sharing equipment, water bottles, etc. Water bottle is probably a bad example because we want people to be bringing their own water bottles. So clubs need to be fundraising, but yet we can't do what we have traditionally done. So, for example, Bunnings has quite rightly stopped the sausage sizzles out the front of their warehouses throughout the country. So what that does bring us towards then is we're seeing clubs do lots and lots of great things with online fundraising, and we encourage you to really look at that. So your memberships, make sure that you're asking for memberships online, but make sure that you create non-playing memberships and past playing memberships, because we're seeing clubs, and we've highlighted previously the Wilston Grange Gorillas have actually had great success in raising significant, many thousands of dollars in this COVID-19 period. Online shops. And again, if you've got old apparel, old merchandise, old sponsors' logos, etc., sitting in the garage somewhere, put it into your shop, call it the Heritage Range, and move forward, and give people the opportunity to support our club. Online raffles. Right, so we're seeing we showcased a couple of weeks ago how Sapphire Coast Karting Club in Bega had done an online raffle and made at least a couple of $1,000s. We'll find out how that raffle ended up, but made a couple of $1,000s really quickly and easily. Online auctions, right? So again, we're seeing clubs start online auctions, and they're auctioning physical assets, but they're also auctioning off experiences. So money can't buy experiences. And so lots of different ideas in the auction side. We're seeing so organisations like our good friends at Geo Snapshot, and we had Andy Edwards on just a couple of weeks ago, have made it possible for clubs to make money out of selling photos. So what happens with Geo Snapshot, all the people just upload their photos to the club portal, And so then everyone else can have a look at those photos. The club may choose to offer them for free, or it may choose to put a little price on it from a fundraising. And in the presentation just gone, we heard that the clubs that were selling photos had got a nice range of photos in there over many generations. So it's not just the photos from this year or last year, but say photos from my vintage, my era, so 20 years ago. We're coming on and looking at the photos, and we're paying a couple of dollars to buy the photos. And so I was very surprised to see that in clubs that had their programs established, they were making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. So this is fantastic, that because from a GeoSnap perspective or photo perspective, not only are we collecting and retaining our photos, our memories, and our history, but we're sharing them. And what people are seeing is, as you know, people like myself would upload any club photos to the club website, we're seeing photos that no one has ever seen before. So that's really, really cool as well. So there's lots and lots and lots and lots of ways that we can be looking at raising funds online. Best way to kind of look at all these different things is to go and have a look at what the professional sports bodies, so whatever team that you barrack for, whether it's AFL, NRL, A-League, NBL, whatever, go and have a look at a couple of ways that they're raising funds through this period, because they're doing a lot of innovative things because they need to survive. So out of this challenge comes innovation. Out of innovation comes great benefit. And so I encourage you to look at your fundraising very, very differently, and hopefully by moving our fundraising, or a lot of it, online, we're ultimately going to make it easier to be volunteers. And so I'll close on that concept of easier. So if we look at the apparel coordinator, it's a terrible job, really, when you think about all the different people in all the different teams, collecting the money, reconciling the money, banking the money. It's actually a challenging, stressful, logistically challenging job. And so, but if we've got an online shop, got all the apparel into the online shop, then our families come online, they purchase what they want. The money goes straight from the family to the club's bank account. But not only does it do that, if we've got online accounting, it goes straight from the bank account into the accounting system, into the accounting reports, and the committee is completely up to date with the latest financial information. So the volunteer that's looking after the apparel, their job goes from being really challenging to, yes, we've still got to promote the apparel sales, but we just get the orders off the online shop. We pick, we pack, we send it to the people that purchase, whether they're down the road or in London, because now if we're doing it online, people in London and outside our broader community can be purchasing. And that's a lot easier for that role. But then the treasurer's role is a lot easier because the money goes straight from the person to the bank account, to the financial reports, reported to the committee. So online is a lot easier. And Chris, you're just saying we've done this with americansport.com.au. So Chris, you're obviously the Logan City Lions Gridiron Football Club, and who actually does have an Australian Sports Foundation project going on at the moment. And Chris, thank you for sharing that link for us all to go and have a look at, because it's really cool. What I love about all these different sports is they're pulling ideas from all over the world. And I'd not seen americansport.com.au, so we'll go and have a look at that in the break. So again, for those that are joining us, thank you. Now, what my plan is for these live streams over the next week to 10 days at least is to bring on club after club after club who have started to open. And so we'll get them to share their experiences, their knowledge, their challenges, what they've learned, so we can all take that journey. So if you know any clubs that have operated in the last couple of days, in the last couple of weeks, link us in, let us know. lots of different sports, and let's learn from their experiences so that we can open safely, and not have the words that we're all fearing, which is coronavirus cluster at a community sports club. So that's our plan for the next couple of weeks, except for Fridays, which of course is eSport Friday. So until tomorrow, I'm Steve Pallas. Thank you very much for being part of our sports community.